Good morning and welcome to Morning Matters. This morning we are broadcasting from the International Airport. With me this morning I have Mr. Rempel. Mr. Rempel is the owner of Rempel Associates. He's also a minister in the Spanish local community. Mr. Rempel, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. Thank you. How are you today?
I am well, thank you. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, Rhonda, I primarily not even born in Belize, but made Belizean through nationalization. Grew up pretty much my years in Blue Creek, Orange Walk. Now we've been in the Spanish Lookout area since '97, with an absence of a few years in between, several years. But now, yeah, back here, and that's practically where I've done most of my work, practice, and so yeah, that's
it.
Yeah.
When you say some of your work, tell me a little bit about what you do.
Well, as many might know us by the work that we do, New Buildings Limited, it's a business that I was involved when we started, and I'm still involved. And we've since done a lot of steel construction, and not just always that, but mostly in that. And then also we have a fleet of cranes, which is the NB Crane Services, which we've had for the last 8 years as well, and so those are the two main principles of the business: the cranes and the steel structures. And now we find ourselves kind of extending to some other services as well.
When you say, for the common person that might be looking, they might be of the impression that you only do commercial business or commercial buildings. Do you also do domestic, like maybe somebody has a huge garage they want to put on or something like that? Do you offer that kind of service as well?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all part, like big and small, and especially here you can't just limit yourself to say you only want to do big or you only want to do small. You run across everything in this little country. As far as in the steel it's concerned, we have yeah, we do the bigger steel construction, as you see in the background here, and then down to car garages. I mean, we do anything that's feasible, that works, and we have time for. And so, yeah, and now with extending ourselves to different stuff, like we do the polyurethane insulation spraying, we have the industrial machine for that. We have a mobile unit. We go and spray insulation to existing building, houses. We do that into houses as well as commercial, and practically anywhere where people want it to be sprayed on. We have machinery to do standing seam roofing, which is a roof system that doesn't have bolts or screws through the roof, which is a 100% leak-free system. It's a little more costly than the normal one, but it's stepping up in quality.
All right.
And then we can also do what they call Mennonite houses. I mean, if somebody wants a house out of pine lumber, anything can be done, but we're still primarily in the steel and the things that come along with that.
Excellent. Earlier when I was talking to you, you also tell me about Rempel Associates. Tell me a little bit about what they do.
Rempel Associates is a business that I started on. That's my business. I'm the owner. It's very new. Most don't know about it yet. Although I started sometime last year. It's just like an extension to what New Buildings already is. Although we keep them separate as companies, but at the end we work together. Rempel Associates takes up projects from conception to completion. Somebody comes and says, I have this land, I want to do a development. Even though they're not sure what they want to do, I can help them, consult with them, help them decide and see what could become out of that and what they want. And they come up with the concept, I help them plan out. And then we create a project.
Okay.
And not just we create a project, I have the capability, the capacity to take it on, I take it down, I take it to my architects, engineers. We design the project, we get it on paper, we get it on drawings, we get it approved by the authorities, building authority, and we also get the work done. I take it on as a general contract, the whole project, and then New Buildings comes in and does the steel work, and I have the other necessary subcontractors coming in. So I do that, plus even I also offer project management for, say, if somebody has a project already committed to its builders, I can still take on, and if they need someone to manage a project in overall.
That is a good thing. So like a common person like myself might say, I want to build a structure on 20 acres of land, but I have the budget, but I don't know exactly what I need. I just call you up and you do everything for me. I give you the budget. In the next year, or whatever the time frame is, I will have everything I need.
Depends the complexity and the time frame that it needs to have it done. But yes, I can get it done. Of course, I will need your input as to what you want to do on there. I need your concepts, but then together we create the project, and then I put it on paper and we get it done.
You work anywhere in this country?
Absolutely.
What are some of the bigger buildings or some of the bigger projects that you've done?
Under Rem and Associates, I haven't really done any major works, besides we are in one construction right now. We have started just a while ago.
And for new buildings?
New buildings will be involved in that one as well.
No, what are some of the things that you've done for new buildings besides the airport where we are right now? Some of the big projects that you've done?
We supplied, let's say, the Bennies and the Northern Highway. We did all their the steel frame on that office building that they have there, the 7-story. We did, and like I said, beside airport, well, we have done a lot of work in the airport here. We have done on the Cemetery Road. There's a number of big warehouses there for the Indians that we did. We did for Pine Lumber. We did a few bigger buildings at T-Shed where they store lumber. We did a number of TVET buildings for government way back in the mid 2000s or early 2000s, I believe it was. Too many to count.
There you go, there you go, there you go.
We did, for example, Fresh Catch, we did that one, I remember. But then there's a whole lot more.
There's a whole lot more. For somebody that's looking out there that might be interested in your service, how can they contact you?
Well, we have of course our emails, we have phones where you can reach us. Myself at 615-6200 or 670-5185. Henry, my brother, you can reach him at 610-5185.
Do you have an email?
You can email me at frank.newbuildings@gmail.com.
Excellent. Well, tell me a little bit about the project that we're standing in right now.
This project here is just one of several, or many I should say, that we've done for the airport already. And this here is, I must say, I'm not sure now, it's the departure arrival hall. It's a lot of steel going in this one. It's a very heavy building. So yes, it's massive, and we are just in the middle of setting it up. It was all fabricated in our facility, and now it's here, it's built, we're setting it up now.
What separates New Building from other companies like it?
Well, I think it's the reputation and the quality of work. We believe in a system where, and I've said it earlier, when we commit ourselves to a project and we quote a project, and we will make sure it gets done for the money that we have said we will do it, and it's done the way the client wants it, to their satisfaction.
Excellent. Anything you'd like to leave us with?
Well, as always, the country still has a lot of sunshine, and we're trying to cover Belize.
You can check out New Buildings at
670-5185.
5185, or you can call them at 610
5185.
5185. That is New Buildings. What we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break and be back. When we come back, we'll be coming back with Mr. Rempel. We'll be bringing him back to help me answer a few matters. From vineyards across the world to the heart of downtown San Ignacio, the fine wines at the Wine House are creating a buzz in both young and old alike. Located on Bluebird Street in San Ignacio, the Wine House features an excellent selection of wine and assorted cheeses. Though you may come in as strangers, the Wine House classy and casual atmosphere and friendly staff make you feel right at home. Visit the Wine House today. Aeropost is now making shopping easier and much more convenient. You can now shop from the comfort of your own home and have your goods delivered to you with no additional cost in as little as 7 working days. No credit card? No problem. Come on down to our office at number 1 Mott Street in Belize City and we will assist you with your shopping. No order too small or large for us to ship. Be it cell phone, TV, jewelry, shoes or clothing, we have exactly what you're looking for. At Aeropost, your favorite shopping spot is only 1 click away. Aeropost, you shop, we ship, we deliver. Give us a call at 223-4349 or visit us at number 1 Mott Street in Belize City.
After you pick the place, pick up a great deal at Alamo on all kinds of vehicles for every vacation, because everyone loves a little getaway and big savings. Alamo.
We've been working with Hummingbird for about 3.5 years, and since the beginning of the relationship, we've been very impressed with the quality of their work and their professionalism. They provide great service. They're very easy to work with, which is really nice. And if anything ever happens and the furniture needs to be repaired or fixed, they're great about sending service people out here. We've gotten great feedback from the buyers of our condos about the quality of the couches we use and the chairs we use, and I could highly recommend working with them in the future.
Seaboard Marine, a leader in ocean transportation, is now offering services to Belize. Offering the fastest and most reliable transit to Belize, Seaboard Marine is the #1 choice for shipping. We offer shipping of less than container loads, such as boxes, barrels, and chilled cargo, full, dry, and refrigerated containers, project cargo, heavy and special equipment, vehicles, and more. We have sailings from Canada, Houston, New Orleans, Miami, the Caribbean, Central and South America. Seaboard Marine offers the most competitive rates with a fast and dependable shipping schedule, excellent customer service, and a convenient location with plenty of parking. Visit our office, website, or call us for more information.
Whichever suits you better. Grace coconut milk is your best choice for taste. Good as homemade, only more convenience.
Grace, bringing good taste to life.
With the high cost of fuel these days, every fill-up can be a curiously scary experience. Rising gas prices have transformed to the point where it feels like it can cost you the shirt off your back. That's why we created Lucas fuel-saving motor oils. Their special additives increase compression and minimize friction, improving fuel mileage. With Lucas, you'll keep from losing your shirt, or even worse.
Looking for quick and easy baking? Try Grace Baking Powder. It comes in a convenient 10-gram packet. Grace Baking Powder. Great for my pancakes, waffles, fry jack, flour tortillas, muffins, waffles. Wow! How quick and easy. Grace Baking Powder. So convenient, easy to store. You love it. It's good enough and fresh whenever you need it. Another fine product brought to you by Grace. For recipes, go to gracerecipes.com. It's time for Grace. Grace, bringing good taste to life.
Welcome back to Morning Matters right here from the Philip Goldson International Airport. Mr. Rempel decided that he's going to sit in with me this morning and help me answer some of these matters. While he is into the business of construction and building and steel and all that, he's also a father, a husband, and a preacher in Spanish. Mr. Rempel, welcome back. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Earlier in the show, you told us that you grew up for the most part in Blue Creek. For the people that don't know where Blue Creek is, it's in the northern part of the country, and then you migrated to Spanish Lookout. What was that transition like?
It was more like a cultural, although I would say there's Mennonites on both sides, but then there's still somewhat a difference in culture, the way we grew up. So, of course, adapting to some of that, although never fully adapted, but enough to live there and be content.
If you were to have it your way, you would be sitting in Blue Creek? It's because that's where you grew up? It's hard to tell?
Depends on what. Some things definitely, and others not. Others don't make that much of a difference, but there definitely be some things I would still pertaining to culture, I would still feel more at home in Blue Creek.
All right. You have children?
Absolutely. 3.
You have 3 children? Excellent. You live in Spanish Lookout?
I do, yes.
Your children go to school in Spanish Lookout?
That's correct.
How difficult is it to raise children in this day and age and still protect them and keep them in the way you want them?
Well, it's not completely possible. We all have room for error, and so have kids. And with things coming in, things are just different. And I think one of the major things that is dominating our society, and not just in Spanish Lookout, I think worldwide and Belize and then worldwide, it's technology, having access to much more than many people need at most times. And so that's one of the bigger battles in these days to control what kids have at hand, what they have access to.
How do you manage that? And I would imagine that, it's true, if they go to school, they see other kids with tablets and iPads and iPhones and internet and everything. How do you keep your children grounded where that is concerned?
Well, see, that's where moral standards come in, and because I don't want internet out of my house. I have internet, I have tablet, I have computers, I have laptops. They're good. We use them every day. But just to control within what you do, to set limits. And so that is to set limits is much more complicated than not to have it at all.
Yes.
If you were just to ban these things and say, okay, I can't have them in my home. Well, then you won't have problems with some of the things that happen and that they get access to. But that's not the point, because sooner or later they're going to get it anyway. And if they get it by themselves, they have less control than if you teach them how to use it right. So that's basically the principle of this whole thing, is to teach them moral values and values of life, and most overall what's right and wrong, what's healthy for their spiritual life. And then try to maintain that respect.
Excellent. You're also a preacher.
I'm a minister in a church of the EMMC church that has been in Spanish Lookout also for, I think, pretty much 15 years. And I've been elected minister there, and I've been doing a lot of preaching in the church.
Have you always been actively close to God?
Well, how can I say how close I am? But since I was in the youth, I have always worked at maintaining a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, who is my Savior. And we all find ourselves sometimes in a little road trail that leads away from the main road. But then, you always get notified and you get back on there.
How important, in your opinion, is that for a family to function at its best?
Well, it's a major important. The most important thing in life is to first of all live a righteous life, and secondly, to have your family with you on it.
All right. Well, now, I would imagine now with all that information, he's more than equipped to help us manage or answer some of these matters, wouldn't you say?
Well, let's see.
Let's see. This one says, I have a man, he treats me good, and he says that he loves me, but he's married. What am I to do? She goes on to say that his woman put him out the house and he is with me. How do I handle this?
Well, I think first of all, there's something wrong why why she kicked him out.
She probably kicked him out because of you, the other woman.
Yeah.
Or another woman like you.
Right.
Yeah.
And if she takes him on, they're in for the same ride.
My thing is, if a man is married or if a woman is married, the question I would ask myself is, why would I want to bother with them? Because if he's married, you know he can't be my husband.
Exactly.
If she is married, you know she can't be your wife.
Exactly.
You know, and besides all the other complication, you know, the chances are that he is sleeping with his wife or she's sleeping with her husband. Why would you want to sleep with them? To bring more disease and stress and torment in your house. The day his wife called back for him, he's gone. He didn't go to court and try and file divorce or separation. He's just breezing out until she called back. Why do you think that so many men find themselves in these positions?
It's, to me, it all boils down to 2 points. One point which goes both ways. The woman has to respect her husband and the husband to love his wife. And I think we could all from experience say, not at all times we do our best to love our wives. And not at all times do women do their best to respect their man. But I still believe in a saying that says a real man stays with his first woman. And if he can't stay with her, he's not a real man, and he's not strong.
Well, you know, that might be easy for you to say, perhaps because you have a nice wife, let's say, for exams, right? I know. But, and I am not here to go against the Bible or go against anything, but I'm just here to discuss what I think is common sense. If I have a husband, or if you have a wife and she is prostituting herself out there and she's really she's running you red, like we would say, why would you want to stay with her? If you are being the best man that you can be, Mr. Rempel, and your wife is running circles around you, why would you stay? Don't you think that there comes a time when you have to wipe your hands for your own sanity?
Yeah, but see, and it's biblical too, you know. The Bible doesn't forbid you to leave your partner.
Help me out there. That is where I want to hear, because I always hear that the Bible forbids it. So help me out with that portion there.
My understanding is that the Bible does not forbid you, if somebody is really is behaving wrong, one of the partners, you can walk away from them. If you live the best you know is right, and your partner really just gives you trouble and willfully sins against God by being with other men, or just by willfully just inflicting trouble on you, you have the right to walk out. But see, where people don't see the boundaries, and this is where in most cases, either way, men and women both, they wanna justify themselves. So they go and they say, okay, my wife has done this and such and has been with so many men. Then they go and find some woman and be with her.
That doesn't help.
To justify. That already is outside of the line.
That
I can walk
help.
away from my wife if she's being unfaithful to me, but I have no rights. Whatever she does, I still have no rights to do the same.
Exactly.
I am independently responsible for myself, no matter what she's doing.
I like that you say that, because a lot of time people say that, well, you know, he's cheating, so I cheat too. Because he go rob a bank, mean you'll go rob a bank
Well, then you're
too.
nothing better.
Thank you. So for you, lady, I would say leave the lady husband alone, put him out your house and get your own husband. Work on yourself. If you don't want a husband, then stay single and act single and live single. That means avoiding other people's men and other people's husbands. I have a son for an American guy. He never took responsibility for his son, and now he wants to come and call the shots. What do you think I should do?
He should have been a father when the child was young, or when she was carrying him.
And you know, that may be true, but that is water under the bridge now.
I know.
When you say, like, I can only imagine what I would have done had I been in that situation. If I had a guy and he didn't take responsibility for this child, and he shows up, let's say 10 years later, and he says, Rhonda, I'm really sorry, I would like to be a part of Johnny's life, I would say yes. You know why I would say yes? Because it's not about me. Johnny needs that bonding. Let Johnny decide what kind of man his father is. You understand? So when you say call the shots, you have to be clear. If it means that he wants to say what happens to your son, no, he can't say what happens to your son, because you have gotten him from zero to here by God's grace and your own hands. But he needs to be a part of his life. He needs to have some say within reason. Because children, people need people. We need people, and our children need us. Our children need us they need to formulate their own idea and their own identity and their own opinions on who their parents are. And the only way to do that is to expose them to their parents.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of women say, well, you know, he never did this now, so I don't want it. No, it's not about you. It's not about you. You could say what you want, go where you want, do what you want. It's just not about you. Let the man do within reason what he needs to do for his child.
Well, yeah. I think if he would not want to come and claim him maybe and take him away or any such thing, that would be beyond.
Yes, that would be too much.
Yeah, that would be too much.
If he wants to file for him to give him easy access, give him ease in movement in terms of he can go and come when he wants, when he becomes an adult, fine. But he can't come and scoop up my son now.
No.
Right? Listen to the man. I mean, you know, sometimes, Mr. Rempel, when a woman gets pregnant, there are lots of things that happens with a man. First of all, he may not know. He may not know because he's not the one carrying the child.
Right. Or
maybe at that time you had two men and maybe you didn't know who the father was. So as the time went by, it was clearer. But if he was your man and your exclusive man and you believe that he should have known based on the circumstances, then you either have to forgive that or forget it, but it needs to be behind you so that you can move on. He doesn't have to be a man to you, he just needs to be a father to his child. Fair enough?
Yep.
How when you do, after this one coming in a Creole, how when I guess supposed to be that your baby ma, now why you take your kids for lunch because they don't like your wife and don't want you to talk to your kids around your wife, and my wife love the children and treat them good.
I don't really got that one.
It's like you are married to your wife and then you had a child with me before, but when I try to when you want your child, I say no because I don't want my child associating with your wife, even though your wife is kind and loving to my child. He wants to know how to deal with it.
Well, I think there's a little bit of a problem there. I think as long as the mother would be kind and loving, there should be no reason not to have her spend time with the kids, because if she's the wife of this father, then and he is the father of that child, then she should be entitled to be around him too. Unless she was abusive, then of course she would have all the legal rights, more so, to withhold the child from the mother. But in this case, I think it shouldn't be a problem. It should be allowed.
You know, if the biological mother is giving you trouble and she's unreasonable, then you have to go to the law. That is always my last resort.
Yeah, then she would be the one to deal with.
But you have to go to the law. Why? Because you need time with your child, and her emotions is not your business. Like the mother of the child's emotion is not your business. Your business is to be the best father you can be to this child and to expose yourself in the best possible way to this child. If when you go to her and you say, Mary Jane, I want to pick up Tom and take him for lunch, and she said, no, not if your wife come in, then you say, look, if we don't, we can do it two ways, easy or hard, but do it we will.
Exactly.
And that's it. A lot of men, I think, are just, even though they seem strong, they're so passive when it comes to taking care of their children and standing up to their exes. You have to be man for that child. You have to come to that child and put that child first. And if that means standing up to the mother, then so be it.
Absolutely.
You have to do what is best for your children at all times. One more, Mr. Rempel, one more. I know you probably have some construction you have things to do. I lived with my partner for 8 years, but during these years, he cheated on me. He had a child. We have a child together. He beat me more than one time and still go back with him. Now I found someone else, but that person have his ex still coming around and he has kids. I still live with my partner, but the attitude, and he tells me that he loves me, but I'm confused. Please assist. Let me break this one down for you. She's living with a man for 8 years. They have a child. She's living in an abusive relationship where he beats her and he cheats and la la la. She has gone out and found another man. The other man now has his own set of problems. He has his ex that's coming around. He's got his kids. She still lives with her man. She's not sure what to do.
Very simple. Leave him alone. You're just bringing a double baggage on your back. You're just putting another big rock in your backpack.
Couldn't agree with you more. You need to leave all the men alone, you know. And I'm not saying that abuse is justifiable. But let's say I'm living with you. And every day I come home, you rail up with me. You tell me bad things, right? While you telling me bad things is not justification, but if I were to behave differently, maybe your response will be different. If I was to be a good wife to you, chances are that you would be a good husband to me. Chances are.
Absolutely.
So if you are out there cheating and scheming and saying you're doing this because he's that, you might have been doing something else that caused the rift from the beginning.
Absolutely.
When you find yourself in a place where you are unhappy, don't go and do an unhappy deed. You leave it. You rid yourself of that stress. You separate yourself from that negative energy. You don't bring more negative energy into it. Meaning, you have to leave the man that's beating you because he will continue to beat you. He will continue to cheat on you. You have to leave the man that has his wife and children or whatever the case that he has. And you need to find yourself. You need to find yourself. You need to be centered enough to figure out what is good for Mary Jane. What will make me the best Mary Jane that I can be.
Absolutely.
And those men are not doing it for you, and you are not doing it for them.
Well, I think there's a point that these people are missing.
Tell me.
I mean, she's already messing with another pack of wolves, so to say, before she's even, you know, and she's still with this one beating her up. And I'll repeat it again, she's just adding another big rock on her backpack. And one thing it seems they don't realize is it's not love they're dealing with right now.
I have to ask, in your definition, what would you say love is? Since you mentioned the word.
I was going to say that in this phrase again. It seems they're not so concerned about who they really love, than they're concerned to have somebody to be with, to satisfy their natural desires. If she can't get along with her first one that comes and beats her, well, let's just say, like you said, like we said, we agreed on earlier, you're free to walk away, but that's as far as it's biblical, as far as I understand. From there, what you do, getting justification is wrong. Now, if they don't get along, if she doesn't get along with the one that's beating her up, that means there's no love between them, not true love. Now, you cannot find true love from another person while you're still being beat up by somebody you thought you're having them there because you think it's your love. It's just, there is no reflection of love there. And neither will there be in the next relationship while the way she's messing around with those two. There's going to be no true expression of love. And if there's true love, they will bend over for each other. They will be strong enough to get together and get the things out of the way that are being problematic, and then building up a trust. And love itself has a lot of branches. And one of the bigger things in love, especially in marriage, is trust. Does my wife trust me when I'm out at work all day in the city, wherever I go, fly out of the country? If she cannot trust me, then there's already a part of the love lacking. And you know, it starts as early as there. A lot of men claim they love their woman, but when it comes to them going somewhere, the woman or them, they keep track of each other because they don't trust each other. You know what? There's already the best part of love is already missing. It goes that far back. Once there's no trust, there's already not true love.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you, because then there's no freedom, there's no flexibility, there's no happiness.
Yeah.
Because then you feel like you're always have to be in control, and you can't be.
And you see people tend to think that, oh, but if I commit myself to only one woman, it's boring. There's so many good women out there. It's wrong. They have the wrong concept of love.
In your mind, what is the best thing about being committed to one person?
The freedom, the flexibility, and the joy and the peace in life that you can not get elsewhere. Knowing that you always have somebody who's loving you, who trusts you, and when you come home, they're going to be there for you. That is the best thing.
All right, Mr. Rempel, thank you for stopping in this morning. Remind us again how people can find you for your business.
615-6200, 610-5185, and 670-5185, or email me at frank.newbillings@gmail.com.
That's right, Frank Rempel from Rem and Associates.
That's correct.
From Rem and Associates, they do from concept to completion for buildings of any nature. On that note, we're going to take a break and come back with our third and final segment.
From vineyards across the world to the heart of downtown San Ignacio, the fine wines at the Wine House are creating a buzz in both young and old alike. Located on Bluebird Street in San Ignacio, the Wine House features an excellent selection of wine and assorted cheeses. Though you may come in as strangers, the Wine House classy and casual atmosphere and friendly staff make you feel right at home. Visit the Wine House today. Aeropost is now making shopping easier and much more convenient. You can now shop from the comfort of your own home and have your goods delivered to you with no additional cost in as little as 7 working days. No credit card? No problem. Come on down to our office at number 1 Mott Street in Belize City and we will assist you with your shopping. No order too small or large for us to ship. Be it cell phone, TV, jewelry, shoes or clothing, we have exactly what you're looking for. At Aeropost, your favorite shopping spot is only 1 click away. Aeropost, you shop, we ship, we deliver. Give us a call at 223-4349 or visit us at number 1 Mott Street in Belize City.
After you pick the place, pick up a great deal at Alamo on all kinds of vehicles for every vacation, because everyone loves a little getaway and big savings. Alamo.
We've been working with Hummingbird for about 3.5 years, and since the beginning of the relationship, we've been very impressed with the quality of their work and their professionalism. They provide great service. They're very easy to work with, which is really nice. And if anything ever happens and the furniture needs to be repaired or fixed, they're great about sending service people out here. We've gotten great feedback from the buyers of our condos about the quality of the couches we use and the chairs we use, and I could highly recommend working with them in the future.
Seaboard Marine, a leader in ocean transportation, is now offering services to Belize. Offering the fastest and most reliable transit to Belize, Seaboard Marine is the #1 choice for shipping. We offer shipping of less than container loads, such as boxes, barrels, and chilled cargo. Full, dry, and refrigerated containers, project cargo, heavy and special equipment, vehicles, and more. We have sailings from Canada, Houston, New Orleans, Miami, the Caribbean, Central and South America. Seaboard Marine offers the most competitive rates with a fast and dependable shipping schedule, excellent customer service, and a convenient location with plenty of parking. Visit our office, website, or call us for more information.
Whichever suits you better. Grace coconut milk is your best choice for taste. Good as homemade, only more convenient.
Grace, bringing good taste to life.
With the high cost of fuel these days, every fill-up can be a curiously scary experience. Rising gas prices have transformed to the point where it feels like it can cost you the shirt off your back. That's why we created Lucas fuel-saving motor oils. Their special additives increase compression and minimize friction, improving fuel mileage. With Lucas, you'll keep from losing your shirt, or even worse.
Looking for quick and easy baking? Try Grace Baking Powder. It comes in a convenient 10-gram packet. Grace Baking Powder. Great for my pancakes, waffles, fry jack, flour tortillas, muffins, waffles. Wow! How quick and easy. Grace Baking Powder. So convenient, easy to store. You love it. It's good enough and fresh whenever you need it. Another fine product brought to you by Grace. For recipes, go to gracerecipes.com. It's time for Grace. Grace, bringing good taste to life.
Welcome back to the third and final segment of Morning Matters. For the first two segments, we had Mr. Rempel. I had him replaced with the old man. The old man is back. Drew, how are you?
I'm good. I wish I didn't have this all fenced in. I'm a big airplane guy. I'd like to watch the airplanes.
Yeah, well, after this, you can go watch the airplanes.
No, we have work to do.
You should have been working from morning.
Oh, I should have been out there.
You were playing when Mr. Rempel and I were working.
No.
I feel so.
I was doing everything I was supposed to do.
Which is lay back in the sun, in the shade.
No. The steel's really hot, though. I've got to be careful.
Yeah? So what's
I
up?
just come out of the mill.
What's up? What's your matter? You have any matters?
No.
You sure?
No matters today. It's got a nice construction here, though.
Well,
I'm anxious to see it when it's finished.
It's going to be beautiful.
They need more room in there. I go through there a lot, I know.
You used to go through there a lot.
No,
that will change.
No, it won't. I'll find a way. I am looking for a domestic partner, however.
You're looking for a domestic...
That works for an airline.
He's looking for a domestic partner that works for the airlines. Okay, you do realize that you can be looking for somebody else. Like you can be applying to be somebody's father. You can, like you have other options.
Like maybe I could adopt someone?
Yes, you can adopt someone.
Ah.
Right?
That's an idea.
So you don't have to go to domestic partner. You can just fall back in the same place you were.
Can you be adopted when you're 18?
You can adopt me.
You don't work for an airline.
I know. Well, I have to tell you that Rutamaya is coming up. Rutamaya is coming up on the weekend of March 4th to the 7th. And you can see all the happenings right here on Channel 7. You'll also be able to see it stream online. You can check out our Facebook page. You can check out my Facebook page because that's where the best coverage for Rutamaya is going to be. It's going to be with us on Channel 7.
That sun was getting a little strong.
All right. So since you don't have any matters, I think it's time for us to jump into other people's matters. Sorry?
There's more on your phone?
We always have matters. Matters can done.
Okay then.
I'm there with a man for 2 years and he there with a girl for 5 months and always say he love me. I'm there with a man for 2 years and he there with a girl for 5 months and always say he love me. I guess they were together, they broke up, and now he's with another girl for 4 months and he's saying 5 months and he's saying he love you. What you doing talking to him?
Yeah.
If you weren't talking to him, you wouldn't hear the nonsense.
And if he loves you, why would he be with the other girl?
You know what? Let me just get this straight. A lot of people mix up loving somebody and being in love with them. Because I can love you from far. I mean,
yeah.
you know.
Just because they love you doesn't mean they want to be with you.
You know, I can honestly say, I love Tom Jones. But I am not in love with Tom Jones. I don't want to be with Tom Jones. I don't want him sleeping on my pillow in the night. I don't want him nowhere near me, but I love him in a different kind of way. So you have to... It's okay for somebody to say they love you. They can love you from far, but you have to be clear with yourself that he's not in love with you. You are not in love with him. Underneath to break off the communication. Let him go his merry way. Who are you in love with, sir?
Tough on your bare skin.
Who are you in love with?
Only you, Rhonda. Why do you laugh?
Ay, ay, ay. If I didn't know better, I would believe you.
You laugh at my pain?
What
Is
pain?
that what you're doing?
What pain?
That pain people speak of.
Let's move into a real matter because this is getting out of hand. Morning. I want to know why guys never see the truth. They always want to go around the story. I guess it's supposed to be say the truth. They always want to go around the story.
I don't know that that's true.
I don't know that that is true, but what I do know that a lot of people lie. I guess they're
You know,
avoiding the
though,
truth.
sometimes men don't care about details so much. Women want details. Men just want to get the gist of the story across. So she's probably talking, she wants details of what you did when you left work and you came home. And in his mind, he came home. No, she wants to know who you passed, how fast you were going, whether you stopped and got some plantains, some gas, you waved at Mary Jane. She wants all those details.
Not
he
all
just
women.
says, well, I came home.
Not all women. A lot of time people, men and women alike, they avoid giving you the whole story because they don't want to tell you the truth.
No,
that is
that's
just
not
the truth.
true.
I'm telling you. But the whole story doesn't have to be, oh, you know, I stopped, I waved my hand on it. The whole story
To
could
them,
be...
it's idle conversation and unimportant.
If I ask you a question, I want it answered. And I want it answered
I'm sure they did answer it.
in its entirety. My wife is at the United States for 3 years now. Ever since she's been there, it's only me who call her. She never calls me. I love her and I miss her. We're not separated. Whenever I ask her if she loves me, she tells me yes. Or sometimes she tells me she doesn't know. How do I handle this?
I would go with the I don't know more so than she does. And if you have to ask, that should tell you something right there. She should just be saying it because she loves you, and she should be saying it, not just when you ask.
My question is, you see, marriage is a very funny thing. Relationships are funny things. They have to have end goals. So why did she go to the States would be important to me. How long was she supposed to stay there? Why haven't you seen her in 3 years? Why haven't you gone, or why hasn't she come back? You know, there are lots of variables in there. If she went and she became illegal and just can't come back, then that was a choice that both of you made before she left.
Maybe.
You understand? When
Maybe
we
she
make...
was only supposed to be gone 6 months.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know what the details are. But whatever it is that you did, I would imagine that both of you did it knowing what the consequences could be. I think the more important question that you have to ask yourself is, do you want to continue to live like this? Is this the life that you want? When you got married, is this what you signed up for? And if the answer is no, then you two need to have a discussion. If the answer is yes, then you have to just see it through. You have to stay constant and see it through. I don't imagine that anybody that gets married would want this kind of a marriage, because people that get married generally want to be together. That's the purpose of being married, or one of the purpose of being married.
True.
So when this happens, maybe it happened for financial reason or whatever it is, now you have to reassess as a couple. If you've not had any relations in 3 years, you've not had any intimacy in terms of spending time or whatever the case is, then you have to ask yourself, is this the contract that I signed up? If it is, great. If it isn't, then reassess.
I would suggest you scrape up some money and you surprise her with a visit to go check out her situation.
That too.
Talk to her on the phone and say, hey, I'm going to come in 3 weeks. I got the money. I'm going to be there. I'm going to come see you.
We can talk.
And see what kind of reaction you get. Oh, baby, you know, that's not a good time.
If you haven't seen your husband in 3 years, that would be a good time.
Yes.
If she says no, then you send her the divorce papers. Talk done.
There you go. I don't know if you want to go that extreme, but
yes, you do.
I don't think so.
If I haven't seen my husband in 3 years, and the day I tell him I'm coming for him, he says it's not a good time,
maybe it's bad timing.
I would give him a better reason to have a better timing. I'd send him the divorce papers. I'm in a relationship for 5 years. My boyfriend cheated on me for the 2nd time. I caught him on the internet chatting with a bunch of girls sexually. He tells me it's all a lie and it's over between them. But I know that he's lying. He did the same thing already to me. What am I to do?
Well, what's the old saying? George Bush got it wrong. Maybe I'll get it right.
If you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Take that.
Give it up.
That's the bottom line.
Give it up. Things won't change.
You know, you can blame him for his action, or you can take responsibility for yours. That is the bottom line. That's the best you can do. You can hope and pray, but hoping and praying don't make people change. People change when they are ready. And we can't make them. Some people don't want to change.
They change if they choose to change.
Good morning. Do you think that if someone says that they're too busy for you, even though they say they love you, when he texts, it's just one word? Is that true love? What am I to do?
I wouldn't read too much into the text. But if you love somebody and want to be with them, you'll make time for them.
Communication is important, right? And it's important to have somebody in your life that you understand and that understands you. So if you are dating a man, and I would imagine you're just dating this boy, and you can't communicate, if you can't communicate, there's very little more that you can achieve, because that is the base that you start with. So if you are texting him and he's not responding the way you want, and you talk to him and still no response, then maybe you need to move on to somebody else to date. That is why people date, because they're shopping. It's not like, it's not like when you go into the store and you pick up this, I always say, this purse. The first purse you see you pick up, even though the purse is purple and you have a white dress.
The purse is screaming, take me home, I love you, I love you.
The purse could cry cooking oil. If I don't like the purse, I will not pick the purse up.
Even if the purse says I love you?
The purse, lots of people say they love you all the time.
Oh, you must be lucky.
They're just talking. People say what they want, they think you want to hear to get what they want to get a lot of time. It's how people treat you that's most important.
Right, but a lot of people don't learn that lesson until they get older. They were raised to believe people and be honest.
Trust but verify.
There you go. A little Ronald Reaganism.
Yes, trust but verify. And I don't mean that with everything, but if a guy says he loves you and you have interest in him, give him the opportunity to prove it by his action. Because words is not enough. For this man that's not texting you correct and not treating you right, you have to step back and see what happens. I wouldn't chase him too much. It might be that he's not a bad man, except that you guys don't understand each other. You're not on the same page. On the same page.
I think you have to let him know that you'd like to hear from him more.
But babe, I'm busy.
If you love me, you'd make time.
I don't have
time. I'm
time.
not saying today or tomorrow, but you need to make time for me.
I want to try.
All right, you better try real hard, because this booty's going out the door.
Why don't you take it out now? No, just joking.
Ay.
This one says, I pay my maintenance, but this woman will not let me see this child. What can I do? Take her to court.
Take her to court.
You have to take her to court.
If she won't allow it and you can't manage to convince her, that's what the courts are for.
Exactly. If she won't fix it, then you have to fix it. This one says, what if you come home and you find your wife having sexual conversations on the phone with another man?
That would be a problem.
My thing is, how can you be sure of what you heard? That is my first thing. It's on the phone. It's not like you saw them online. You understand? It's on the phone. Chances are you will only hear 2 words. Whatever those 2 words are, they couldn't be misunderstood for a man or a woman. Let's just be fair. Try to be fair. If you were not sitting there hearing the whole conversation, then maybe you need not jump to conclusion. Unless, if this woman has bad history with you, then I would understand why you would jump to that conclusion. But if she doesn't have bad history and it's your own insecurity, I would give her the opportunity to explain. Because sometimes what you think you hear, you're not really here.
I agree.
Right? That ever happened to you before?
Never.
So I say be sure of what you heard before you break up the dollhouse for nothing. Right?
I think if he wasn't sure, he wouldn't have texted in.
You know what? A lot of time people think they're sure. I might walk in the room and I might hear you say, oh boy, girl, you're so sexy. You're so sexy. But you know hear what I said before? You know hear what I say after? I might be quote what somebody else say. You understand? It might not be my words to you. It might be me quoting something else. I mean, lots of things happen. I say give them the benefit of the doubt until the history prove you wrong.
Okay.
I am a guy and I'm not sure if I'm interested in guys or girls. How do I
Why don't
handle
you lean
this?
toward girls?
When in doubt, leave out. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing.
That's true. Just chill, get to know yourself.
Why the rush?
You don't have to jump into a relationship of one or the other. Just
What's the fire?
hang out.
Keep yourself to yourself.
Must be like 16.
You must be young. Keep yourself to yourself. If you are so young and you don't know what your preference is in life, then don't do nothing.
Yeah.
You
I'd
don't
try
have to do
girls
nothing.
though first.
I wouldn't try nothing if I would definitely recommend girls, but I wouldn't try nothing. Because before you make up your mind and you try one or the other, you'll be confused. If you try, let's say you are...
I think there's more problem if he chooses a guy and finds out he's wrong than if he chooses a girl and finds out he's wrong.
I'll tell you what could possibly happen in his mind. If he chooses a girl, he might still be interested to explore. If he chooses a guy, same thing might happen. He needs to be sure before he chooses anything.
Sometimes you
He
can't be
only-
until you try it.
No,
When you go into the candy store, you know which candy you want?
I don't eat candies. Take that.
When you go into a Coach purse shop, do you know which purse you want?
I don't buy 5 of them. I look around.
Exactly.
And then I decide, and I might
You
even...
pick them up, you touch them up, you look inside, you look outside, you
No.
smell it.
I don't... Ooh, you're going too far now. You're going too far.
You do it all.
You know, no. That's a different
How do
thing.
you know which one you like until you pick it up and touch it?
But I know I want a purse. I don't go into a purse looking for a football boots. I mean, into a purse store looking for a
Maybe you
football
want a
boots.
handbag.
No. I know I want a purse. Or a handbag, they're still of the same kind. I don't go in there looking for a rucksack.
Yeah, but you don't know if you want a big one or a little one.
And
or-
that's okay. That's like not knowing if I want a big boy or a small boy or a
Oh,
fat boy or a thin
jeez.
boy. You understand? But I know a boy I
You
want.
missed the point.
Boy, relax yourself. Don't do nothing. Pray. Grab your Bible and pray about it, okay? That never hurt nobody yet. But for the first time in a long time, I will agree with Drew. If you're not sure and you still want to try something, make sure it's with a girl. I have a girl who I love so much. We have a daughter and she is my life, but my girlfriend is always accusing me of having a relationship with this woman. I am not.
His baby's mama?
Yep.
You know, about the only thing you can do is sit down and explain to her that my child is important to me and it's important that I get along with her mother for the benefit of the child. And if you can't understand that and support me with it, then we need to part ways because my daughter's important and that is what I need to focus on.
While that is good, and I understand that, you also, the guy has to check himself. I think when we're in any position, we first have to check
I
ourselves.
wouldn't expect anything other than that from you.
But you don't have to.
Because the guy always has to check himself.
But the
with
girl
you.
had to check herself too if the tables were turned. People, we have to check ourselves and see what we are contributing to the situation
I'm
to
just
make it
saying
what
what
it
he
is.
needs to do.
Yes, but he also
If
needs to
that's
see.
not the case, then he has to come up with a different
But
idea.
what he also needs to do is to make sure that his actions are fair, that he's not overdoing it. Because a lot of time, men and women, we chum up to the baby mother, the baby father, because we feel we have to. Sometimes you don't have to. You just have to be respectful and fair. You don't have to overdo it. Sometimes it's when we overdo it that we upset our partners. All right? So make sure
But
that
that's
your
not
actions
for her
are fair.
to judge.
It,
Who's to judge whether it gets overdone or not?
she.
No.
She, not
No.
with the child, not with the child, but with the child's mother.
No.
Yes, yes.
No. I disagree.
You don't have to agree.
I don't want to agree.
It is my responsibility to myself and my relationship to manage, if you want to, my relationship. And that means I have to be fair with everybody.
Which party are you in this?
I am the new wife, for instance.
Well, and that's right. And he has 2 extra people to deal with.
Yes, which is fair. That's his responsibility.
That's right.
But my right is also to manage my home.
Right, not his with his daughter.
But a part of my home...
Why can't he manage his home?
Yes, but my home includes him and his daughter.
Why isn't it our home?
But you know what I mean.
No.
Well, our home includes...
You act like it's a dictatorship.
No, it's not. But you are saying that I don't have any right to say, well, you know, Drew, I don't think you're being... I think you're being overly...
I didn't say you didn't have a right to say. It's not for you to judge and decide. It might be too much for you, and it's okay if you want to say that. And if he wants to make some adjustments, that's okay. But he's not making his decisions based on this woman's irrational fear.
But it might not be. I'm saying he needs to decide what is rational. He decides what is rational.
I agree.
But
you just said she does.
He decides what is rational, but she has the right to voice her opinion. That is what I am saying.
There, I'll go with that. She can voice it, but it's not for her to determine and be judge, jury, and executioner. That's the way you made it sound.
If you were to listen and not be so feisty.
Listen. I listened very closely to that one.
Morning Matters is winding down. Anything you'd like to leave us with?
I'm going to take the rest of the day off.
For what?
You got me all shook up.
Hey. On that note, we're going to wrap up. This has been our third and final segment. It's been fun. Until next time, we encourage you to take care of yourselves and each other. This is Rhonda Crichton along with
Drew.
Saying goodbye.